Hey, come on, hello. Hi, Chiku Anna, haven't seen you in a very long time. How are you doing? Okay, guys. Before we start, two disclaimers. I have a fan on because it's hot. So if it's making noise, please let me know. And secondly, I'm not feeling that good. And so we'll try our level best to get through these 30 minutes of today's live. I almost said show. Maybe you should call it a show. Who knows? Yeah. How you doing? How you doing? How's your Sunday? How's your week? How's your weekend? Y'all sanctioned by Donald Trump. How y'all feeling? Speaking of which, guys, it looks like I want to go past the 30-second mark before I can use a word. Yeah, now we passed the 30-second mark. Yeah, they fucked up and they are now finding out that, oops, we made a mistake. No, 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 we did not mean that. Donald Trump, we did not mean that. When we lobbied you, we were actually thinking selfishly, thinking that you were going to invade South Africa and then you put a prime minister in AfriForum leaders or one of the AfriForum leaders. And welcome back to apartheid. But it didn't quite work that way. It did not. It actually blew up on their faces. And guess who has a rotten egg on his face? Yeah, Donald Trump. Because you guys, I don't have to tell you everything that happened. We woke up on Saturday morning and we heard Donald Trump has signed an executive order to cut all aid to South Africa. And not only did he just cut aid to South Africa, that $440 million, that is not going to South African GDP, by the way. It's going to NGOs and all these people that are not responsible, but are taking care of our vulnerable in terms of health. Of course, we are talking people living with the three-letter word, which I can't use here on YouTube. Yeah, the three-letter word, which transforms or morphs into a very deadly disease in the end at the end of the day. So these people, they make up about 8 million of them in South Africa. And by the way, the majority of them are non-South Africans. Zimbabweans, Nigerians, Malawians, Zambians, yeah, and the rest of other parts of Africa. It makes 8 million of them, and they are getting free ARVs. And these free ARVs, of course, they are funded by this USAID funds that have been now cut off by Donald Trump. Not only that, you have 15,000 South African healthcare staff who are now without a job because of this sanction. Now, even what's his name, our president was like, well, anyways, that only makes 17% of what South Africa gets, and that's the only funding that we're getting from the United States. Everything else, we the ones who take care of the rest. And then now, with all of that has happened, my question is to Cyril Ramaphosa: do we have savings for rainy days, in particular for the health sector, in terms of these NGOs that are busy making sure that people live long and healthy lives? I'm sorry, we don't. What happened? The other day, I asked about the money that we made in surplus in 2007. What happened to that money? I also asked about the FIFA World Cup profits that we made. What happened to that money? And goodness knows what other monies as well that have gone missing and are in some secret bank accounts in the Cayman Islands, Dubai, you name them. USA, some of them as well. Do we have that savings? No, we don't. Because now, in the next 4 or 5 months, we are going to start seeing the repercussions of this particular sanction. It's not a sanction on our economy, but it is going to bear very heavy on our economy because that $440 million make somewhere around 7.9 billion rand, 8 billion rand. which now have to come out from our coffers so that people's lives are saved, which now also brings us back to what I also said in my 2 lives ago, that our lifestyle will also have to change. Take more responsibility on your own health when uyot in type of situation. We need to bring back those campaigns, government, of safe sex and no drugs and all that stuff that we used to have in the 90s that got so many of us terrified not to go to the without the, that sort of stuff. So we need to go back because those campaigns did work. Oh, yes, they did work. Let me tell you that. They did work. But now, because we have a group of people, and this is not all Afrikaners, let me tell you that, because I know some of the most amazing Afrikaners in this country, like who just disassociate themselves with the likes of AfriForum and Orania. They are South Africans, they feel South Africans, and they are South Africans, and they also acknowledge that just little over 31 years ago, it was okay for a white person to refer to themselves as Europeans. I mean, if you go to the apartheid days, I didn't live in the apartheid days, but I was born in a dying age of apartheid. But we know how history looks like, where there used to be white beaches and black beaches and bus stop where you have natives only. Operative word here, natives only and Europeans only. That was just a generation ago. But then here comes AfriForum who went and lobbied Donald Trump and said, oh, we are being treated terribly in South Africa. And then Donald Trump last Sunday, he says, oh, in South Africa, there are atrocities that are being perpetuated against a certain group of minorities. Talking about now we know white Afrikaners. And then he was like, yeah, we'll take action. But it doesn't look like AfriForum understood the word take action. I mean, I've lived enough on this earth to understand when an American president says, we will take action. I mean, hello, evidence is all over in the Middle East, all the way to Northern Africa. When an American president said we're going to take action, I mean, again, and here we are now with the 440 million dollars taken away. Action. But they did not count that, wait a minute, we as the farmers who happens to be Afrikaners because of the land that was grabbed by the apartheid government in 1913, giving them 80% of our land in their hands. And now that the Expropriation Act came in and they're thinking, oh my goodness, I'm going to lose that all that money that I was making since 1913 to black people. So we gotta get Donald Trump. And this is where I wanna come in, Mr. President Ramaphosa. In October, the United States is going to be reviewing it'll be reviewing and will decide whether to renew or not to renew AGOA. Guess who benefits the most out of AGOA? Guess who does? That is why they jumped and said, no, Mr. Trump, wait, Trump, hey, wait. I think we kind of like fucked up and now we are finding out. No. What we meant was, when you take action, don't take action against the innocent South Africans. Suddenly now, we matter. You know why now we matter us? Because if Donald Trump does take action, let's say he sanctions South Africa economically, lobbies his the United States allies, which will be your Britons and basically everybody, and say, turn South Africa into a Zimbabwe. That is when they woke up. Oh no, Trump, no. But let's not forget about AGOA, because guess who benefits the most out of AGOA? It's not us. It is them, those farm owners who are Afrikaner white people. And that is what they said, no, rather punish the ANC senior leaders. I still don't even know what does that mean. Does it mean that if you are a child of a senior ANC member, you're not allowed in America? Or if you are studying in America and you are a child of a senior ANC leader, you will need to be deported back to South? What does that mean? Somebody please explain it to me, because I don't understand. That is not even sanctioned enough for the ANC and its policy to say land expropriation. Oh yeah, we are going to reverse it. It makes absolute no sense to me. Absolute no sense to me. I don't get it. I that part I just did not get it. But now they are finding out that, oh no, we went to Donald Trump and said what we said about South Africa. Come October, those billions of rands that are making out of AGOA, it's gonna go away. If those billions of rands are going away, what's gonna happen to Orania? What's going to happen to Orania? Because the expansion plan right now, if you are listening to the spokesperson of Orania movement, they want recognition. What do you think that recognition means? It simply means, hey, let's play the game of Israel Palestine type of situation. That's exactly what they are saying to Donald Trump. Sanction the living daylight of the ANC leaders, so that Orania and other parts of the northern, basically maybe probably the whole the northern Cape, must be taken over and turned into an Israel within South Africa. Oh, let's also not forget that, because the people, the independents of the Cape, what not nonsense, they too, they are at Donald Trump in Washington. They're like, listen, we want self what do you call this, self or whatever that nonsense, the words they are saying, same thing that Israel is saying. And what do you think Donald Trump is going to do? Because it's white people. White supremacy is going to be protected and promoted by Donald Trump in the next 4 years. Anything that threatens, disagrees, rejects white supremacy, it's going to be met with some harsh consequences. So now we have a constitution that they are going, or probably even planning, to reduce it to a nothing but nothing than a piece of paper. That is, I'm not being alarmist. I'm just saying things as far as I have grown up and watched the Americans. Because Donald Trump knew very well what he was saying about South Africa and white South Africans being treated badly, terribly, and going as far as saying human rights violations against white people in South Africa. And yet there's the same people who are thriving in South Africa. When I say thriving, I mean go to Cape Town, go to Durban, go to all these places where they live opulent lives. Go there. And from what I understand, a genocide is, it's where people are being wiped out. Like wiped out. There is a consistent violence against that certain group or ethnic group, and they are being wiped out in numbers. They're not going to tell you that no, crime in South Africa is affecting everybody. And the majority of people that are hard done by crime, especially violent crime, is Black people. Because we live in vulnerable areas where police, when you call them, they take 6 hours to get to you. Yet the police station is about 5 minutes drive away. You call an ambulance, it comes the following day. But them, you call the police in seconds, they are there. You call an ambulance in seconds, they are there. They're not going to say that. They want to play victims. We are the victims. And now that America is taking action, because this is not the only action that America is taking, AGOA, AGOA, where who benefits the most? The Afrikaner white farmer. Yeah, the one that we are treating badly and terribly. And now they need refugee status. Speaking of refugee status, Donald Trump signs that order, and then he offers white Afrikaners in particular, explains the little history, how they came to Africa, where they come from, and now they can come to America according to a refugee program. Uh, just only them, by the way. And then when you're listening to Donald Trump about everything that he's talking about, refugees, the same people that he's throwing out of the United States, sending them back to their respective countries, and then he doesn't want to hear the word equity in America. He doesn't want to hear the word equity in America. But in South Africa, oh no, it's a word. And white people must benefit equally to the black people. And you're like, sir, what side of the river your legs are on? But then again, what are you doing in South African business? What are you doing in South African internal business? Oh, I forgot. The white supremacists in the country who are still hard done by the end of apartheid refuses to work with the rest of us. I mean, already they've created their own little world called Orania. And I always said that, listen, when people go to Kruger National Park, they go there to watch animals doing their thing in the wilderness. We have Orania of people who just refuse to work with South Africans. I mean, you can go to the peripheries of Orania. You can even take your family members for a trip and stand by the peripheries and watch this piece of land of people who just are hateful human beings towards other human beings. And now they want to include us in the effing up when they are finding out that, oh my goodness, October, we are losing these billions of rands that we are making from AGOA. And by the way, I even saw they say, oh, this is going to affect people that work for us. Which people are those? Because they're not South Africans. You and I, as South Africans, know that we are no longer hired in farms because we are protected by the Labor Relation Act and other labor laws in the country. It's easier to get a foreigner who's number one, make sure that they are illegally in South Africa. And then when it comes to the farm killings, they don't want to tell the world that actually it is our foreign employees who are undocumented that are actually unaliving them, because when you go and buy some, let's say, livestock or some produce in some of these farms, they want hard cold cash. And guess who collects this hard cold cash? It's not the farmer, but that foreign national who is trusted or trustworthy to take the money to the boss. And of course, they are calculating how many people came in today, how many people came in last week, how many people came last month, how many people came in the past 6 months, because some of these guys don't believe in putting their money in the bank. Some of them. So now this foreign national is doing calculations, gathers up Ruruba and say, hey, my boss probably has over X number of or sum of money of this amount. And all we have to do is force them to tell us the safe code, get into it. That is why when they report of the unaliving, it is so gruesome. So gruesome. The description is so gruesome. You can tell that this gruesomeness is torture to force them to give up the code. And then after that, they don't steal anything. They just take the money. And when the police get there, of course, they're assuming that the monies go to the bank, not in the safe. And then guess who takes the blame? They say it's us who are doing it. Oh, white genocide. Again, not all white people are bad people in this country. Not all of them. And I'm talking Afrikaners. Not all of them are bad people. But what they've, excuse me, but what they've done, they are also realizing that, oh shit, here we made a mistake, because now if you're reading the articles that I've been reading on the newspapers since yesterday, and I've been laughing my lungs out. And like, if you don't mind, let me read this article from Africa. It's written VOA. I'm not quite sure what that means. The article was written on the 8th of February, which was yesterday. 2025. And then the headline is Afrikaner group in South Africa declined Trump's resettlement plan. Now, why do you decline such a great offer? Number one, to escape genocide, to escape terrible treatment, bad things happening to you, and then you're like, no, 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 keep your refuge. The problem here is the word refugee, because even Netherlands, even has policies, and England has policies on these same people, calling them refugees, possible refugees from South Africa. They hate that word. Second thing that they're not gonna love when they get to the United States is starting from fresh without land. Because if you are going to take up this offer, that means you are forfeiting so many things. You're forfeiting your South Africanness, you're forfeiting the land that you have been refusing to give back that was grabbed by the apartheid government in 1913. You are refusing, you are declining the what do you call this, from losing the billions of rands that you are getting from AGOA. You're like, no. Now, if I'm Donald Trump, I'll be like, was I being made a fool of? Yes, you will be made a fool of, because you have fooled. They made a complete idiot out of you, and guess who's laughing? South Africans. I was tickled silly yesterday. Tickled silly when AfriForum, together with Solidarity, they were trying to do some damage control. And in that damage control, guess what they were also doing? Gaslighting the rest of us. Like, what is happening with you guys? That's because you effed up and you're finding out. Then the article continues to say, Cape Town, South Africa, groups representing some South African white minority responded Saturday to a plan by President Donald Trump to offer them refugee status and resettlement in the United States by saying thanks, but no thanks. Hey, I get it. I get it. These guys are smart, the AfriForum guys. They're quite smart, I must tell you, because they know the repercussions of taking up this offer. Going to the United States to start from scratch with that, the lifestyle, not even the lifestyle, the standard of life or the quality of life in the United States, almost non-existent. Prices are all sky high. They will not survive. Secondly, they are not going to survive the United States of America itself. Americans, they have their own minds, and Afrikaners have their own minds, and those two will clash like this. They will come back running. And when they come back running, now they're going to start crying. Oh, when we came back, our land was taken. What did you think was going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? So now that's why they say, no, Donald Trump, we made a mistake. Basically, what we were actually saying to you was, because now they're denying that they ever accused the government of land grabs. Donald Trump last week said there were land grabs because y'all told him. And then what did you do when Donald Trump did that? You were glowing. You were so happy, smile. We could literally see the last tooth in your mouth. That's how happy you were that Donald Trump had said what he said. But then quickly you realize that, wait a minute, no, no, punish only the AC leaders. I still don't understand what that means. Honestly speaking. Because if you say punish the ANC leaders, they are still in charge of the country, yes, with GNU, but you are saying, yeah, the whole thing. The whole thing. And so that's what Donald Trump did, is starting small, because he's also been threatened by the South African Mineral Resource Minister, Mantashe, that, okay, fine, no minerals for you. Natural resources are coming to you too. But now for me, I am seeing great opportunities. I mean, we are co-founders of BRICS. We have China, we have Russia, we have Brazil and India. I'm sure one of them sooner or later will be like, guys, take $500 million and continue with this program and save South African lives. Whatever America may try to do to South Africa, our friends and partners in BRICS will say, hey, don't worry. There you go. Basically, who loses at the end of the day? And then if AGOA does also get cancelled, that is why I'm saying, hey, Mr. Ramaphosa, cancel it now. Don't even give it an opportunity for it to be reviewed. Cancel it. Yes, I know, but the jobs again, it's not us who are employed in those farms. It's not us. It is not us. So it's not going to affect us. We still make over 32% unemployed or unemployment in this country. So no, we're not going to, nobody's going to suffer from that. Cut the thing, don't even give it a chance. And then from there, go to our partners and co-founders of BRICS and say there are farmers in South Africa, and these are the farmers. Whether we mean white English farmers together with black and colored farmers, let's do that. Let's do that. There got to be consequences for your action. There has to be consequences for your action. And what AfriForum did was tantamount to me, where I am sitting, to treason, going to get somebody else that is not a South African to come and and do what they do to our sovereignty, because that was a threat to our sovereignty. That's tantamount to treason. Let's call it for what it is. No, they don't want to say thanks, but no thanks, because they know what they are going to lose. They know in South Africa they live a good life. What Donald Trump said is the complete opposite, and by billions of miles apart. And AfriForum knows that. AfriForum knows that. And because Donald Trump is intentionally trying to bully the world, and he thought, South Africa is the weakest link. Let me use them an example to Canada that I want to annex as a 51st state. Greenland. Oh, not Greenland. I'm hitting at Denmark, the owner of Greenland, and then antagonizing the entire European Union. Of course, we know he's at war. I don't know, economic or trade wars with China and Russia. And then BB was in the White House, and we all know what probably he said there. But I want to talk to our people here, the ones that fucked up and now they are finding out. Guys, this is not how it's done. Now, they are crying mostly about the Land Expropriation Act. They are saying things without acknowledging the history of 1913. They refuse to acknowledge that history. Completely refuse. They say there's no way, because they know how much they are benefiting from those lands. And now they want to get the United States to force us. Imagine you force an entire sovereignty to bend over for a tiny little group of people. Not even there's 8% of white people in South Africa, but out of that 8%, they have killed themselves off. And they are calling themselves a nation. A nation. Now, already, this is an infrastructure that they are building for self-determination. Yeah, a little Israel in South Africa. That's exactly what they are busy with. And that's what they are talking to Trump about. It's crazy, guys. It's absolutely insane, but hilarious at the same time. I cannot stop laughing at AfriForum and Solidarity and anybody else that supports that nonsense. You guys are a joke. Funny. A complete joke, guys. Come on. You yourselves, you should actually be thinking, now we made a stupid move here. We thought we were being smart. Apartheid is not going to return. Apartheid is not going to return. In case you people have not told you before, Black South Africans in 1994 made a vow. And that vow was, we will never ever allow um, to ever rule South Africa again, ever. The other ones, they may try as close as they can to get to union buildings and run the country again. No, it's not going to happen. And now more than ever, South Africans are united. Yes, right now people are on each other's throats, and I don't like that. I don't like when we are on each other's throats. I would rather us sit around a round table and discussing, compromising, and coming to a consensus on how South Africa can work for all of us. Now they are talking about that, oh, for all to benefit out of this great country. No, that's not what you want. This is not what you want. You want your own thing. You want to run the entire country, bring back apartheid. That's what you want. And now, because we already once bitten, twice shy type of situation, suddenly you are running to daddy. Daddy said, come home. And you're saying, no, go home. Go home. You'll be comfortable there. This is one of the greatest nations in the world, so they say. The land of the free and the brave, the opportunities, milk and honey. You guys are resilient, you say. You will get to the United States, and within few months, you'll be thriving in the United States. Why don't you want that opportunity? And then I keep hearing this, oh, we are natives of the land, meaning they are natives of South Africa. No, they say indigenous. Over 30 years ago, you were Europeans. Now you are indigenous. I found that very hilarious. Pick your battle. Which one are you going with? Which one are you going with, honestly speaking? And what the Ramaphosa needs to do right now is to grow a pear, a silver pear, and start hammering down on AGOA before it's going to be yanked out of you. You'll be embarrassed. Cancel it, my friend, my president. Cancel it yourself. Consequences. Let's now work with consequences. We're not going to be bullied, and we shouldn't be bullied, and we should never allow anybody to bully us. There's no way. We are part of 55% of the global population, possibly superpower. And we are determining our own future without the United States of America. And Donald Trump doesn't like that. He's threatened. But okay, guys, this is my rant for today's live. I don't know about you, but let's get to your live chats and then close it for today. All right. So we have Chuko Anna. What's up again? How you doing? Then we have Nicolesia. How are you doing, fam? Good to see you. Aurelia, how are you doing, Aurelia? Prosper. So every foreigner has AIDS. Who said that? Who said that? Melissa, anyways, Melissa, it backfired on AfriForum and it blew up on Donald Trump's face after that. Melissa say hi, Clancy. So what's up, Melissa? How are you doing? Ex Roots, what's up, my Jamaican? Is a brother? Yeah, I believe a brother right here. Could be. I'm sorry. Could be sis. I'm trying to get your avatar. I think it's a brother right there. I see. What's up? What's up? Yeah, yeah, it's exactly what's happening. Tiani says, hello, my brother and the clan fam. I hope everyone is okay. We are fantastic. I'm laughing my lungs out of this joke that is happening right now. And then we have Andy Silo who says, away, away. Wago says, hello, what a week. Very interesting week we've had. X Roots X says, I see they use the same tactics as Israel, Tom. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And actually, that's what they are introducing. If you're not looking closer, sooner or later, a whole piece of land in South Africa will be cut off because they say they want self determination. Yeah. Exodus X says the voice of America. I don't know what it's. Probably, yeah, VOA, but it's yeah, yeah, possibly. Yeah, I think it is because they're not giving me much to go by here. Gabriel says first time to watch your online to watch you online. Oh, welcome. Welcome, Gabriel. It's good to see you. Wako all says it's tough to be a black South African, always ducking some hits. You know what? I there was a time where I would get exhausted being a black person in general. But now, bro, I'm beginning to realize that no, we're powerful. We are a threat. Something they know. In fact, they know what we are capable of. I mean, most of the inventions that are out there inspired by us. X Root X is laughing, and no prisoners laughing as well. What we all say is that's what I said. Americans aren't timid like us here in South Africa. They were going to come right over there and stop thinking they are the best species on earth. I mean, Australia and New Zealand, they already started complaining because some of them think they are the best since sliced bread. Chuko Anna says we got dogs also. Right. No reason to say no. Trump has actually ruined relations with his allies. Yeah, definitely. There is no way that they are going. I mean, most of the world, anyways, South Africa is their economic strategy. So they'll be like, no, bro, are you okay? You shouldn't be doing that yourself. That's how smart he is. So he's not going to lobby them. Well, he's a bully. Chukana says, I'm so tired of government. Yeah, the system is just failing us, all over the world. But I think we are mostly failed by political establishments. Mashatini says this is an African fight Zim started in Libya followed. No one supported. Now it hits home. Well, I hear you. Let me just put it that way. I hear you. Mujalifa says, mine apologies for ukungena late endlini. Dumelang katlong from Drusty. Kutwano, this is Kutwang. Hi, I'm sorry for butchering everything that you said. No, no, it's good. It's good. Thank you for being here, though. X Roots X says, "Oh man, you are finished just like me. I'm telling you with laughter. You continue to say, so this is why they want some recognition. Yeah, because they want to build their own fiefdom. Yvonne, how are you doing? Yvonne, it's so good to see you. What's up in New York? Ex Roots say this is serious stuff. It is. It's quite serious, but hilarious at the same time. Wako O says, I feel like they never thought DT will be excited like this and make an announcement. He was like a little child in a candy store when AfriForum came to me. I was like, oh, we are going to get the diamonds, the gold, the platinum, and all the other stuff there. Yes! Let's start there. But before I do that, I want you all decide. Come to the United States so that when I take action, you are not going to be affected without understanding the gravity of how these people are in control of South African economy. He did not see that. That is why they said, thanks, but no thanks. Lindy was says, hi, Clan, siyahlolelwa. Ayisihlolwa ngempela sizalelwe nje endlini for real. X Root says, Manchakura says, what will happen to the Rand US dollar pair? Well, so far, yeah, it's dancing around, but not so much so to be concerned. But we don't know in the next 6 months because we still have 4 years of Donald Trump. But then again, South Africa still has its BRICS partners. There's also going to be the G20 summit that's going to take place sometime this year. And we did see Marco Rubio say it declined the invitation to come to the foreign ministry conference that's going to be held in Johannesburg. Basically, they are showing us the future. And I'm thinking that they probably also playing in the palm of China and Russia, because China, Russia, India, and Brazil are going to pick up all these American losses and advance their own cause moving forward. And at the end of the day, probably Donald Trump might realize that his advisors, they're misleading him. Elon Musk. Bernard says you are always on spot. Thank you. When my mind goes wild, this is what happens, people. Spa says, "Will not be will be not be bullied. Katele, enough is enough, and we will not be bullied." Muchalifa says, "AfriForum Orania." Let me tool. I know what you are saying there. I know. I think I've already said it as well. Tabiso say it is true that Tumelo have confessed. I don't know. That'll be that'll be very nice if he did, because that means I don't know what it means legally, but that would be nice. That would actually be nice. Sholani, my brother, what's up? What's up? What's up, my dog? Donald Trump, Elon Musk, AfriForum, and their members must be charged for treason. Well, I don't think we will succeed with the first two, but these guys at home, this was tantamount to treason, indeed, and there got to be some kind of legal consequences for that. What all says Elon is in trouble there. They are accusing him of a coup. I agree. That's how a coup d'etat looks like. When you first get into the treasury of a country, what are you doing there? This is where top secrets are at. People's what do you call these identities? People's security as a whole. It's in there. So when you get access to it and you are a private citizen, that's a coup d'etat, my friend. That's a plain coup d'etat. And now the Americans, they want to bring him to no, you were all quiet all this time and boasting about him. Now that he's no, Sabonga, keep him. All right. So I believe that I am done with the comment section, and I've gone past my 30 minutes. I always go past my 30 minutes. Anyways, guys, we shall talk again tomorrow because there's a lot that I'm also following. Again, Mr. President, cancel AGOA. Oxalayo, it's not us who are employed in those farms. It's not us. So we will not be affected. Cancel AGOA now. That's all I'm saying. Yvonne says, you, Donald Trump, only likes to listen to himself. He has the best ideas. His advisors are puppets. Everyone else is stupid from what I've heard when he speaks. Very interesting. Lindy will say, thanks, goodbye. Yeah, I gotta go, guys. Thank you all so much. We'll continue this talk and I shall be observing everything that's going on going forward. Ciao. Much love.